So I'm sitting here in beautiful Costa Rica, and I'm with our tour guide from Collette Tours, and his name is Chris. And Chris, I have to tell you, my friend, that being here for almost 2 weeks, what really surprised me was how very different this nation is. I mean, it was really different from coast to coast. Tell us a little bit about where we went.
Well, first of all, welcome everyone, and I'm glad you all have been here. Well, Costa Rica is a country that has an incredible variety of environments. In a very small nation, pretty much the size of West Virginia.
Wow.
We have mountains that go as high as 12,700 feet of elevation, surrounded by 2 oceans. And in this incredible variety of environments, Costa Rica hosts approximately 7% of whole living creatures of the planet.
Wow.
So that makes us very proud of also about the nation. So we started in the central area of Costa Rica, in the Central Valley, where we have some of the most fertile soils of the country. And it's, by the way, also the most populated part of Costa Rica. So you all landed in the capital area.
And that would be San Jose, right?
That's San Jose.
Beautiful city.
Yeah, the first day, definitely the coffee fields, something of, make us very proud. The nation definitely based the development from the independence time with the coffee. And after that, we moved all the way to the beach.
Yeah.
The beaches in Guanacaste, known as the Gold Coast of Costa Rica, where we have beautiful white sand beaches, contrasting with gray sand beaches from volcanic materials. The driest part, where we have the tropical dry forest, which is
it was
beautiful.
All 3 were lovely, and I have to say that I was so surprised when we went up into the cloud forest, right? That's the name of it. That was pretty high up, and it was cool and very wet. I mean, it rained a lot that time, but that's what happens with the cloud forest. That's how it is.
The cloud forest always has clouds.
Yeah, it wouldn't be a cloud forest if it didn't, would it?
and somehow it's a kind of rainforest in higher elevations. In that particular area of Monteverde, which is the name of the region, we have a particular factor, and is the crash of the trade winds coming from the Caribbean, full of moisture. They crash the mountains, condensating and making the whole Caribbean slope, get wet.
Mm-hmm.
Some of this moisture still is that much enough to go across the mountain ridge, keep it all the time windy, misty, and even still a lot to moist little bit of a Pacific slope, where on a regular basis should be drier, but that's particular of that area.
And I found it really fascinating, Chris, that you had a lot of different zones in that time. I mean, you would think that, it's Costa Rica, it's tropical, it'll be a very warm zone everywhere, but you have a lot of different growing zones.
It's interesting because the diversity I just mentioned depends very much of the elevation, of the altitude. So in the area of Monteverde, we have very high variations on the degree of the terrain. The characteristics and topography of Monteverde changes in elevation. In terms of 10 miles, you can change over 1,000 feet, even more of that in a short distance. So that's incredible, and that's what makes so many contrasts in a short space.
And forgive me if I'm wrong here, but do I remember hearing you say on one of the tours that it's either bananas or pineapples? It's something that Costa Rica is like the biggest exporter of now.
At this moment, Costa Rica produces the biggest amount of pineapples in the world. It's the country with higher exportations, and the second of bananas after Ecuador.
And we saw acres and acres of them.
Absolutely, that's 2 very productive crops that historically banana has been the most important of the whole crops. And since about 20 years ago, pineapple became a very important agriculture activity.
And the amount of not only flora but fauna, both the animals and the plant kingdoms here, I see things that I know have a family that does work in Portland, like this plumbago behind us. There's some plumbago that grow in Portland. They don't look like this. So it's weird to watch all of these different plants that are in this beautiful region together, and just stunning.
It's interesting because you put it in a very good perspective. Some of the plants that we have also for decoration or gardening, they are not native from here, but have been adapted very well to these particular tropical conditions. orchids, crotons, dracaenas. You mentioned
Yeah.
many of them. And besides that, the native species of heliconias, gingers, they're also an incredible variety. So only here in this country, we need to mention about 180 different species of native heliconias.
Wow.
So these soils, affected a lot by volcanic activity, but a lot of minerals, has privileged location for many, many tropical plants.
Well, you know, I have to say that I wasn't quite sure how I was going to feel when I came to Costa Rica, but when we were here, we've been here almost 2 weeks. The people are delightful. The plants and animals are exquisite. We've had great food. We've met great new friends. So if you think to yourself, I might be thinking about going down to Costa Rica and spending some time, you can go to gardentime.tv. We'll click you over to the Collette website. You can find out all the tours they have and come down and see a little bit of paradise for yourself. Chris, thank you so much, my friend. What a pleasure.
My pleasure, and I invite you all to visit our country. One of the jewels of the Americas, and we'll be proud to have you all and share with you the whole beauty of this country.
I agree.